Hello, Sergio Melendez here. I am an IRS expert, enrolled agent, and Juris Doctorate. I have personally resolved millions of dollars on behalf of my clients. What I want to talk to you today about is the new initiative by the IRS known as the IRS People First Initiative. This is as a response to the COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus pandemic. Now, my settings here, of course, I'm social distancing myself, operating from the headquarters of Semper Tax Relief, straight from my 1-year-old son's bedroom, Esteban. Uh, so, as we've all are experiencing these changes, we don't know how much it's going to affect us. So these 10 things are maybe the most crucial things that it's important for you to know. For the majority of the part, things got extended for July 15th, 2020. Now, in addition to this initiative, all the other tax relief initiatives like the Fresh Start programs, those still exist and still apply. Okay, so let's begin and let's start with item number 1. If you are on a current payment plan, all payments will be suspended beginning on April 1st until July 15th. Now, because they're suspended, you will not be in default. That means that you could spend that money instead of paying the IRS, spend it on anything else that you want or need on behalf of your family, behalf of yourself, your job, your business, so on and so forth. Item number 2. If you have a balance with the IRS, you could apply for a payment plan. Now, the type of payment plans, there's many different kinds. One of the first kind is from the Fresh Start Initiative, which is a 72-month repayment plan. If you cannot afford that payment plan, there are other hardship payment plans. However, they do meet the requirements of disclosing income and personal expenses before you apply. But the IRS is they are accepting installment plans. Item number 3. There's a settlement program. It's popular. It's known as the Offer and Compromise. Now, the Offer and Compromise program works like this. You make an offer for the amount that you owe. If the IRS accepts that offer, they forgive the rest. Example, if you happen to owe $1 million to the IRS and you compute an offer of $1,000, you offer the IRS $1,000. If they accept that offer, they're going to forgive the rest. It's all forgiven. A couple of general guidelines here is you do have to qualify for that program and you have to apply. So that operates business as usual. Now here's the little curveball and here's the little initiative that does get applied. Sometimes you have to make required periodic payments on these offer and compromises. If you happen to submit an offer where you do make these required payments, no payments are required. They're going to be suspended until July 15th. The other part is typically they get rejected or returned immediately if you don't have all your taxes filed. So right now they're not going to do that if you have 2018 or 2019 missing. That is a list at least until July 15th. So everything else still applies, whether you qualify for doubt as to liability offer and compromise, doubt as to collectability offer and compromise, or the effective tax administration offer and compromise. Item number 4. This is if you're missing tax returns, you're still able to claim a refund for the last 3 years. That's current year, which is 2019, and then the past 2 years, which is 2018 and 2017. So the sooner you you file the tax returns, the sooner you get the refunds. It's also being in compliance as part of most relief programs, so it's important you do file. Here's a little tip. If you happen to move or don't have your wages and income, W-2s, 1099s, you are able to order them up from the IRS, and it's called the Wage and Income Transcript. You might want to also get it unmasked for tax preparation purposes. In today's time, the IRS do mask certain information where you don't have access to everything on there, so you're not able to electronically file it. So make sure you request it to be unmasked. Tip number 5 from the new initiative. If you have the earned income tax credit or the IRS sends you an income verification audit, this is when you file. Instead of getting a refund, you're going to get a stacks of mail from the IRS that typically give you 30 days to respond. Right now, the IRS is suspending all those types of audits, and instead, it sounds like they will be issuing out refunds. And if they're making those type of requests, they will give the request after July 15th. So that gives people time to maybe gather some documents like going to the county, getting birth certificates, getting bank records, and so on and so forth. Item number 5. This applies if you have a local collector and you are in collections. Typically, these agents are very powerful. They issue out liens, levies. They make business calls. They show up to your house, leave a business card if you're not home. It's a real pain in the neck to have a revenue officer assigned. But the good news is right now, these revenue officers are not making any in-person visits, both to the house or to the office. The other good news is that they're going to stop all liens and levies effective immediately up until July 15th, 2020. So this gives a big relief to those that are assigned revenue officers or those that have businesses and have payroll liabilities. One of the things, though, that if they did make a request for certain things, you do have to comply with. So they could still have the mailing address, or they still have their fax numbers. You could fax the information to. That way, by the time July 15th comes around, you're more than likely in compliance, where they don't begin those type of collection actions. Typically, revenue officers deal with if you owe over $250,000, or you're a higher income individual missing tax returns, or your business with payroll liabilities. Now, if you are in collections, this brings us up to item number 7 for typical IRS collections. This is known as ACS, Automated Collection Systems, by the IRS. Right now, they're going to suspend all liens and levies until July 15th, which is fabulous, fantastic news. They also certified people with serious delinquency. The U.S. passports get certified with the Department of State, where instead of renewing, it gets suspended, so you're not able to travel out of the country. And on other aspects, on private debt collectors, they will not be assigning any accounts to any private debt collectors from now until July 15th, which is also great news because the private debt collectors, they probably are a little better at collecting than the IRS themselves. So these contractors, they do, some serious work for the IRS. So that's good that all that will be suspended until July 15th. Audits brings us up to item number 8. If you are under an audit, whether it's local or by mail or known as correspondence audit, the IRS will basically be suspending any type of deadline until July 15th, which is great news. And in addition to that, they're not going to be issuing out any new audits, and they're not going to be having any in-person meetings, whether it's your business or if you're a person, they're not going to be calling out to come into the office. So it's great. Now, the key word is generally. So if the IRS see that it jeopardizes certain aspects, they might be issuing out a new audit. Item number 9. Item number 9. This has to deal with the IRS Independent Office of Appeals. They, for the most part, seem like they're going to be operating as normal. Whenever you take a decision, whenever the IRS takes a decision and you don't agree with that decision, you could request for review from the Office of Appeals. Now, the Office of Appeals is a branch of the IRS. However, they are independently ran and they are only overseen directly by Congress. So this is typical when there's a wage levy and the IRS does not want to remove it. You could appeal it. There's an IRS federal tax lien. You could appeal it. Offer in compromise gets rejected on the merits. You could appeal it. You come at the end of an audit you don't agree with, you could appeal that. All those type of cases go to the Office of Appeals. Typically, I'm located here in Southern California. When I make a request, I don't know whether an agent from the Office of Appeals might get assigned Southern California or New York or even Puerto Rico, Northern California, Seattle, Washington. When agents do get assigned that far, we typically just operate by phone, fax, and mail. So that will be business as usual. The one little kicker with this initiative is that they will not be having any type of in-person visits. That brings us up to the last part of these initiative, which is item number 10. But item number 10, it seems like it's just a general warning to everybody saying what's known as time as allowed by law. This is also known as a statute of limitations. So the IRS still, if they come to an end of an audit and they have to send you out what's known as a notice of deficiency. That means that you have a right to appeal that, but you only have 90 days. So the IRS has the time by law to close off the audit, and then you yourself then have the time by law to respond back to the end of audit. Those time frames still apply. So the IRS says be vigilant, look out for notices that get sent in the mail, especially if anything that's certified. It's important that you reply back as according to law. So that basically breaks it down with the 10 things that are absolutely crucial about the IRS People First initiative that just got issued today, March 25th, 2020. So with the different aspects, there are advantages to take care of. Take advantage of these things. The IRS themselves have the right to go ahead and pull, modify, change any of this initiative. But my question to you is, what initiative are you interested in taking advantage of? If you have any questions or concerns, please post it in a comment. I will reply back. I'm also available by phone. Call me up 949-484-0184, and let's go ahead and schedule a case review. Thanks.